you know.
I'm sorry. For $150K, I can give you 3 babies.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you don't know the right people.
Oh, you gotta know somebody. Get that 3-for-1 baby Bitcoin deal.
Oh my God.
This episode is made possible by our Thera partners, Dirty B and Pickets. From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. And now, broadcasting from the churn, that's Jim, that's Whitney, I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Well, hello, fam. It is officially September. I hope everybody got themselves some kick-ass Labor Day sales. I've been looking at refrigerators.
Yeah.
It's time. But then the
A new
problem is, so ice maker's
Kitchen fridge
broken.
or new? Oh, so main fridge.
Main fridge.
Not like a garage fridge or anything.
I want to demote this one to the garage and then get the fresh one. But the problem
Smart.
is you get in there and it's smoking deals. These are really great. All right, awesome.
Labor Day,
But then
yeah.
you look at it and you're like, well, fuck this. This fridge isn't going to match my washer. And it isn't going to match the fucking
Your
oven and
washer?
stove.
Okay.
Dishwasher. And,
Oh,
and so,
dishwasher.
yeah,
I was like
not the other
washing
appliances.
machine?
I don't care about that.
Why would you need your fridge to match your wife?
Exactly. You know, she doesn't
my
want to wear the
Jacob,
crow.
shut up.
Sexism!
It's still hot. It's still hot. But yeah, no, it's a pain in the ass because then you're like, okay, well, I don't want to just buy this one because then it's not going to perfectly match the other things. Then you want to buy everything.
When you say match, like how close
Do they have to be the same
need
brand?
to match?
Or just
So
like
you're
all
not just-
stainless steel.
Yeah, it can't just
All
be
white.
all stainless steel.
It is. It is, but the
Okay.
stainless steel is never going to be perfect. So if you get Whirlpool versus Samsung,
Right.
it is a different shade, and it's not subtle. It's pretty obvious.
How can you tell?
Oh man, you could tell.
You
Like
can
one of
tell?
them's like gunmetal, and like the other one's kind of like a lighter chrome.
Okay.
Oh, I mean not like nickel, but like it's obvious.
Have you thought about just taking your appliances to an auto body shop
There
and
you
having
go.
them just chrome them for you?
Yeah.
No,
that is a great idea.
No, get a wrap.
Okay.
Oh, you just do a nice vinyl wrap.
With Jim's
nice vinyl
face.
wrap.
There you go.
Yeah,
be a really
just
good
all
Wedding
Pod
thing,
Therapy
all
logos.
Pod
there you
Oh,
go.
you can just have like the giant Pod Therapy tree. That could just be your refrigerator.
Yeah.
Honestly, how have we not already done that? That's just a really good idea. So I can never pull the trigger on this. I still haven't. So I
Just
hope
sell
that
all
people
your
have the sale.
appliances and buy all new ones.
That's where I'm at. I'm at the place of like, but the sales are so good that you're like, okay.
God, must be nice.
Well, but they'll give you
Pissing
like
away money like
no
that.
interest loans.
He's using the Pod Therapy card.
Yeah. By the way, don't check the bank
Shit.
account.
You know what? I'm getting on. I'm gonna check that right
I've
now.
spent all $30.
Good luck, buddy. You're gonna get an igloo cooler.
Yeah, the new fridge is a styrofoam cooler. I've embezzled.
Patreon.com/therapy.
Yeah, speaking of which,
Do you
we
want
need
ice
some
with
funds.
that? No, I'm gonna have to come back in 2 months for the ice. Just the cooler for now, thanks.
So I haven't made any purchases yet. Are you? Any of you guys taking advantage of any of the sales this weekend? Going for it?
We might buy a new mattress.
Oh,
we're looking at a couple of mattresses.
That's a good one.
And
Okay.
we're looking at the one that I'm looking at. I shouldn't say we. I am looking at one that has the adjustable frame.
Yes,
okay.
I want that.
And SJ's first response was like, "Well, it's an old person bed."
I got news for you,
I was
honey.
like, "Fine,
Yeah.
Well,
whatever this
guess
means,
what?
I don't care. I
I'm
accept.
still interested in this."
Jacob throws his flowing gray hair.
Yeah.
You know, we should
Go on.
We actually need to get a new bed as well. Actually, another bed, not really a replacement bed.
How many
because,
beds do 2 people need?
Well, here's the thing.
Well,
So,
the dog is really getting selfish.
Yeah.
so my father and stepmother have already agreed that they're going to come house sit for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't told them yet, and they don't listen to the show, but I haven't told them yet that we don't have,
They all live
as
together.
of right now, a place for them to sleep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Wait, what do you
we
mean?
need to solve that problem.
Yeah.
They're going to house sit for you,
Yes.
so they're going to be there when you're not there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then they sleep
This
in
is
your
what
bed.
I thought. Yeah.
But there's going to be some overlap. They're coming they're coming like 4 days early. They'll probably stay a couple days.
And you
later.
don't feel like an air mattress is a suitable solution to this?
What most likely will happen, they'll take our bed and then we'll have to figure something out.
And then you're going to air mattress
Yeah,
it.
probably.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's some good air mattresses. Like,
Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
a few. Actually, when I first moved to Vegas, I had an air mattress for like the first 2 months.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely survive on them.
I had a
Yeah.
great one for a while in California, but eventually it was an air mattress.
Yeah.
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 After a while,
I
You
want that
realize
adjustable
it's an
bed
air
frame, though.
mattress.
I've been looking for that same thing.
Yeah.
They're
And have you seen the Sleep Number beds? Like that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
change the firmness? I'm in that age range.
I'm
This
not.
is very
I'm not
important
interested
to me now.
in being able to change. If somebody gave me a Sleep Number bed,
Yeah.
change the firmness and everything, awesome.
Yeah.
I don't need to change the firmness of my mattress.
Okay.
On a nightly
Yeah.
basis.
But are you more on the firm side or the soft
select
side?
it. Yeah, once I like pick out a mattress that I'm comfortable with,
Yeah.
I'm going to be pretty happy with that mattress.
But what I'm hearing in that, though, is that you and SJ must happen to be on the same page with
We're-
what you
we pretty
prefer.
much are, yeah.
That's why that works.
Yeah.
In any other,
Yeah.
if you're in, so we're in very different buckets. Like I want a firm
I'm not
mattress.
in a bucket at all.
Yeah, that's probably why
I'm
my back
sitting in a
hurts.
chair.
Yeah, this fucking bucket is really
That's
hurting
the
my
first
back.
problem.
I like it. A very firm mattress, and I guess maybe because I want like hotel mattresses. You know, when you get to the hotel, like this fucking thing
Like
is
a
built
lot of
from
other
rock.
people have slept on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
There's a lot of cum stains
like-
that aren't familiar.
I was gonna subtly
Jacob-
nod to that,
Jacob could
but you
fix
just,
that for
just
you.
ram the fucking car right through the window.
Well, that's how you get the cum stains.
That's- If you want to learn how babies are made, patreon.com/therapy.
that.
It is
It's a really
really
good
good
one.
I
episode
still
for
don't
it.
understand
Speaking of
it.
cum stains,
Basically, we learned that Whitney got to experience the miracle of birth.
Whitney had a baby.
Patreon.com/therapy. You can learn all about it. And we learned
She had a
about
leg.
Kind of. Yeah.
how we learned all the
I did
things.
experience the
Also,
leg.
please go to votejim.net every day, every device, all month long, and vote for me, Best of Las Vegas. I
is that
need
already
your
working?
help. It is
What?
going.
What is
I have
this?
not had the chance to get in there yet and announce it. So I've put it on our socials, but this is the first episode I've been able to get going. But the voting's already been going for like 2 weeks, and I forgot to say it 2 weeks ago, and then I was out
yeah,
last
look at
week.
that.
It's there.
Look at
Oh, and you
that.
got
Click the
you even
button.
paid for the thing. You
click
paid
the
for the
button.
thing, so you just
I did. Yeah,
click that, and then you just click that right there.
Yeah, you just
That's great.
You fucking idiot. He always does this. He never clicks the goddamn thing. He clicks the vote and then doesn't submit, and then he closes the window.
Yep.
Don't do what
Do
Jacob
that.
does. Finish the process, please. VoteJim.net every day, every device. I super duper appreciate it. It helps me out a great deal. We got a lot of great questions for this week's episode. Some great ones coming in. And want to remind you that the queue is getting light. So get those questions submitted. Patreon.com. You can come on, or patreon.net. God only knows where patreon.com goes. But patreon.net, or
What are you even saying?
thank you. Pod Therapy.
Therapy.net.
someone has
.net.
the
I was
flu
like,
still.
Patreon.com goes
Is
to
a thing.
Patreon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know exactly where that
God
goes.
knows you
I
are
don't know.
God.
Yeah,
You know
so.
what? Just pray. We'll get it.
Jesus,
We'll get the
Jesus
message.
Jim will get you there.
Jesus, Jim Sus always hears your
Jimsus.
prayers. All right, first question of the night. Listening to podcasts at work from Patty G. Hi guys, time for a light-hearted question. I work in manufacturing and have spent the past few months bringing your back catalog
Binging.
over my headphones during my long shifts.
Because I'm a bad
binging.
boy.
Thank you, Whitney. Binging your back catalog over my headphones during my long shifts. I love the way Pod Therapy combines humor and storytelling with genuine advice and empathy for mental health struggles. You're one of my favorite podcasts for getting in a good headspace and helping me to think positively and productively. This week, I get to work and find out that headphones are now banned. Thanks to some idiot who wasn't paying attention and got hurt and ruined things for the rest of us.
Always
it's
thanks
always
to
some
some idiot.
idiot.
Some idiot
Yep.
getting injured. I'm no longer thinking positively or productively. We're allowed to use personal speakers, but the machines I run are really loud and drown out your dulcet tones. How should I spend my 12-hour shifts now that podcasts and audiobooks are out? Usually at least 3 hours per shift is just sitting and waiting for things to finish, and the rest is physically active, if not the most mentally engaging. Being on your phone for more than a moment to change your music or text our boss is a no-go. To make it harder, the work I do, cutting up carbon fiber composites to make airplane parts, is dirty. Everything is covered in a fine layer of carbon dust. I've been bringing books to work, but unless I'm super careful, they end up with black fingerprints everywhere. Maybe I should take up knitting as long as the yarn is already black. Help! I joke about always listening to so many podcasts that I don't have to be alone with my thoughts, but it's not so funny now that I'm climbing the walls with boredom by 9 a.m. Any suggestions for productive or mental health-focused ways to kill time? Ideas for maliciously compliant music choices to inflict on my coworkers? Or any tips on how to write a manifesto to get a giant billion-dollar corporation to roll back their stupid headphone rule? I'm dying over here. Thanks for all you do. Pink plastic pen. Pronouns are she and her. P.S. I would love to hear your thoughts, experience, or research on TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation therapy. I finally got my insurance to agree to pay for it, and I'm starting it soon. Hopefully hear that on Patreon. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, that's
Great
a good
stuff.
that's a good deep dive there.
That is a good deep dive. TMS is really interesting.
Okay, the easiest. Let's just pick the low hanging fruit here. Just bigger speakers.
Yeah. I already pulled it. What you want is the Bose S1 Pro Plus portable Bluetooth speaker system.
Okay.
What the Bose S1 Plus portable Bluetooth speaker system will get you.
Oh,
yeah,
hell
sponsor
yeah.
the show, Bose. He pulled it up on the screen. We're looking at it. God damn.
It's a nice size speaker. It's portable.
Fuck.
It has
it's portable once.
It has a rechargeable battery.
Does it got wheels?
So you can even plug it in, charge it up.
Measurements of
Dude,
this
what
thing?
is the measurement? That looks like a suitcase.
It is about suitcase size. It's
Jesus
like carry on.
Christ.
It's like a carry-on suitcase.
It does.
Like
Maybe a little smaller.
Like a
It
duffel bag?
Definitely
size?
has
a little
wheels.
smaller than that. No, it doesn't have wheels. You can carry it.
Oh, that's a big
It's a few pounds.
Okay.
SJ has one that she takes to gigs every now and then.
Okay.
But it's like $700. It is surprisingly loud.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Play the podcast.
I'll bet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
You can probably go to like Aaron's or someplace and rent it. And here's the reason why.
I don't know what Aaron's is, but sure.
It's
Aaron's
a tech
is
rental
yeah,
place.
you can
Oh,
rent.
great.
Yeah.
TVs.
Because my thought is that you don't need to buy this because you bring this in once on one day
changes the policy.
and they'll bring headphones.
I think they're just going to add one more line to the policy that says,
I know.
also,
No
don't bring that
speakers.
specific speaker.
There's only
anymore.
one way to know.
Yeah,
Actually,
right.
Actually, I've got it. I've got how you
Delicious
actually just roll it back. So she can listen to podcasts and audiobooks just on a speaker, right?
Yeah.
Like on the phone, just
They
not
said
no headphones.
portable Bluetooth speakers
Yeah.
are fine.
Audiobook, all about how to unionize a property.
Oh, that would 100% work.
You're done.
Oh, that's just going to work.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
This is how to bring the union in.
Yes.
You're just done.
Just
That's just
union-
legit. Like they will just legit roll
union
that back.
propaganda the entire
Yep.
time.
Or they won't, and you'll get a nice union coming in. And then,
Either way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of think, what about those, like, don't they have those neck things that
I
you
was
put over
thinking
your
that,
neck?
like a neck thing.
Yeah, because it doesn't cover your ears. It
Oh.
lays on your neck,
You
but
can
it
do that.
plays.
Or you
Yeah.
can do the bone conductor ones.
Bone conductor. Yeah.
Yes.
And then it goes around your ears on the bones around
your
your ears.
jawline, yeah.
And then it just plays the music through that.
There's
you
also-
could absolutely do that.
I've seen glasses ones too, and,
Yep.
and I don't know if they have them attached to safety glasses yet, but there's definitely prescription glasses that I had a guy talk to me on Zoom that had these. He had prescription glasses, and then baked into these things was the headset, the Bluetooth headset, playing
And
right
it
out of his
was
phone.
it was a speaker
Wow.
or it was an earpiece connected to the glasses.
It was not an earpiece.
Okay.
So the stems of the glasses that were going over
Just
his
had a little
ears,
speaker or something in them.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like the bone conduction,
Oh,
and it was
that's
also
cool.
it was also a phone.
Well, there's a lot of them that have the bone. There's some that have the bone conduction, and there's some that just have a little speaker like on the stem,
Yes.
which is kind of how the VR headsets
yeah,
work.
yeah.
They usually have a little
Tiny
a little
speakers,
speaker
but they're
in
pretty
the-
powerful,
in
and
the
they're
strap.
aiming
Yeah.
right into your ear hole.
That's it.
So nothing visibly is covering you.
Right.
And so that, I think, is the move. There's
Actually,
that
I think
might
the bone
solve
conduction
this.
headset might be the real answer because
All
that's
right.
not covering your ears at all. You can still hear.
I think that's it. Now,
but the
or
more fun answer is
carry around the
union
boombox.
book.
I think it's the 1990s boombox.
That is what that reminds
on the
me of.
shoulder.
The
Just
ghetto
walking-
blaster.
Fucking yes. Just walking around with it.
Yeah.
That's the move. So I think we've obviously solved this, but let's take a plan B on this. So we've already solved
We've gotten like 8 plan Bs here.
it. Well, we've solved it with here's tech solutions, but I guess we should also speak to if you're a human who's dealing with chronic boredom at work and you're finding you cannot get out of your head, do we have tricks for that?
Nope.
Speakers. That's why podcasts
Oh
exist.
my god.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about therapy having a dog bias.
I mean, do you have anything?
You're
Quit
listening
while
to
you're
Pod
ahead.
Therapy.
Honestly, quit while you're ahead.
We got to answer that, don't we?
We probably should.
Okay,
Patty
all
seems
right.
nice. We should probably try. No, but
Patty.
this is absolutely a thing, though.
That's
and
so
like,
tough.
I saw a meme the other day. It said something like, "I'm 2 more podcast subscriptions away from never having to be alone with my thoughts again."
I saw that.
And that is
yeah.
so true. I cannot drive without a podcast playing. Like if I cannot pull out of my driveway if something's not playing, because it is like the longest fucking emptiness.
Are you don't listen to music anymore?
Very rarely. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's got to be a podcast. Because I've always got like a shit ton of things in my feed that I want to listen to. But I've got to have something on at all times. Or if I'm playing video games, I can't just play video games. Have to have podcasts going at all times.
Yeah, I'm that way too, and it kind of bothers me.
You wish you weren't like that?
I'm a little worried.
Well, see,
like that I have to have multiple forms of entertainment happening at the same time.
Dude, yes.
That's kind of scary.
Oh, no, it's a problem.
Yeah.
We all have like this weird attention deficit problem. Well, and also you get, I think I would imagine for you this is even worse. Because like for me, I'm in session. And so when I'm in session, obviously I couldn't do that. But if you have a job where you could listen to podcasts while you're doing it, I think you fall into a deep hole of now I do.
Yeah.
And I have to.
Yeah.
Is that true for you?
Kind of. There's some parts of my job that I can listen to podcasts while I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then other parts that require me to read. And if I have to read, I can't do it. Like I've got to have either silence or I could do instrumental music.
Okay.
But that's about it.
I feel like when I worked at the insurance company,
Okay.
we would have to read clinical. So you're trying to like make decisions, but I just had
You're just smashing the deny button, right? So you don't really have to read anything.
That's
just,
easy.
Yeah, just
That's
enter,
easy
enter,
part of my
enter,
job.
enter, yeah. Click, click, click. Deny.
Exactly. But I would play or put on a playlist that I knew all the songs. So if it's a new song, and then it'll pull my attention away from what I'm doing. But I would kind of listen to like the same songs every day. But it couldn't be a podcast or anything. I had to pay attention to those new info or new like stuff, because then my attention is drawn to that. But instrumental music, even that, because if it's new, then I'm listening to the instrumental music. Like I don't know, it didn't work. But I don't know. I feel like I will get in the car very often and be in silence.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you in your
I've
thoughts?
done that a few times.
Are you thinking, or are you just in the present driving the car?
I would say that
We've all seen her drive. We know her focus is not on
not
driving.
on the driving.
I, you know what? Y'all have had a lot of hating on women driving things today.
Those texts were private.
Not on the show we have.
I have infiltrated.
Breaking the fourth wall, Jesus. Revisit your NDA, madam.
You thought I didn't see that.
I didn't text it. That was Jacob.
It was
That
a
was
public
you, Jim.
text.
At first, I thought he said beating women, and I was like, "Whoa!"
No, I find that.
Wait, what did Jim text?
I find that I like podcasts and or I like little YouTube channels that are podcast vibes.
Yeah.
They're just on YouTube. I'll put those on. But if I feel overstimulated, like I've had a long day at work, or I'm just like I woke up that morning and I'm just overstimulated, then I will put on music, maybe if I'm trying to go to the gym or something. But a lot of times it's just like I like getting in my car and I like nothing being on. That is like the sacred quiet space that I enjoy. And way back in the day, I don't do this anymore, but I guess when I used to go to a job, like, you know, working with foster kids, I would come home and just sit in the car for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, like in the garage. I don't even have children. There's no one at home, but I'm just like...
To be clear, while you were in the garage, the car was running or not?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
All right.
Well, we're glad you're still with us.
Thanks.
Speak for yourself.
Have any of you ever had a job that is like
No.
what the writer's saying here? Yeah, no.
I have.
What
Sugar
job?
daddy. But a job that is like so tedious.
Golly.
Where, I mean,
This
it's
actually...
12-hour shifts, 24 hours in your brain.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of a job that I had after my freshman year of college. Came back home for the summer. So me and their producer, Ben Don, had a job where we were building storm doors. So like screen doors and stuff that go, you know, and so we were working at this factory that was building these doors. And we actually had a conversation with like the upper management, because when they put on like some upbeat like music, some fast music, our production numbers we could watch, you know, like our numbers on our line.
Wow.
Oh, it was totally
what a science experiment.
And then but then they would like, we had maybe 2 days of some really great music, and we put up some killer numbers.
Yeah.
And then they went back to this like
smooth jazz.
Yeah, like this old stuff that they and we had this conversation with them. We're like, hey, like, you know, we're way more productive or maybe we can have one day a week where we get to pick the music or something, and they wouldn't budge on it.
Oh
Fuck
gosh.
productivity, son. This is Iowa.
Yeah.
We got months to get it done.
Move a speed here.
It was, and I think it was for the same safety reasons, which was like, they played music throughout this huge plant, and this plant was huge.
Oh, okay.
But
biggest ficus you've ever seen.
Yeah, no one ever had headphones or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've had jobs like that, and it does when the music, especially if it's music that you just don't like. If you're already in a bad mood and you're just hearing like the same music, oh god, it's hard, and you kind of have to tune it out. And if you've got people that you're working next to that you can strike up a conversation with, that at least distracts you a little bit from it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a strategy, but it doesn't sound like it. I mean, it sounds like you're kind of alone,
Dude,
by yourself.
that is really, really tough. I've had a couple of jobs where it was just huge amounts of downtime. You can't leave. Mm-hmm. You technically need to be present, but like there is nothing for you to do, and you are staring at the clock, just ticking. And it's like, dude, what? And like it's the worst whenever there's some kind of administrative rule that's just like, no, you cannot escape this. You have no choice.
I'm just realizing I've had a lot of jobs like that.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Like I remember there was one job I was working at this hockey shop, and so we were just selling hockey equipment, and during the day from like noon to 6, no one ever walks in there.
Yeah.
So it's just us, and so there's just two of us.
There's only so many chores.
Two of us working. Yeah. So like I would put on like all the goalie gear. Like I would get in full goalie setup. And the other kid
just run at the wall as fast as you could.
The other kid would stand at the other end of the store, and he'd just be shooting pucks at me all day. We never all of the goalie equipment. It was all brand new. It did not look new.
Yeah.
None of it looked new.
Yeah. You want this new goalie thing?
You're calling the manufacturer, be like, you guys shipped us this, and it looked like shit. We really need to get this right. This is terrible. Unprofessional.
There are cameras in there.
Dude, it is hard, man. Whenever you are stuck in your own brain space and there is no way out, that is so rough. And then the writer says, you get 3 hours a day in aggregate that you could pull out a book. But I mean, damn, man, you can't even do that because
just sitting with your own.
And that must mean you can't use a lot of tech either because of all this carbon shit. You can't probably.
And it was
an
a
iPad.
Kindle or something.
Yeah, probably the same problem.
Yeah,
that's a mess, man. Luckily, we solved it with the glasses thing. I think that the glasses speakers are the answer.
I mean, you could also try talking to a supervisor. Yeah. I mean, probably nothing will happen, but I think if enough people start bringing it up, there might be a change.
Putting out, if you could just hand out
it's better than not doing it at all.
Communist Manifesto. Be like, hey, it's just some light reading material since we're not allowed to listen
just
to it.
Leave them around. Yeah. Leave them around.
That's it.
The longer we talk about this, the more I like Jacob's idea.
I know. The blasting the propaganda.
Yeah.
It's a very solid move. It's very solid.
Don't they just fire you if you talk about getting unionized, though?
Yeah, it depends on who. If it's Elon Musk, yeah. If you work at Tesla, you won't be fucking...
I don't know.
But is that a bad thing?
I don't know. Unemployment.
Wow, Ryder. Well, I'm glad that Pod Therapy served you well all this time. I'm
until
sad
it didn't.
Until we broke the problem.
Story of Pod Therapy.
It's always there for you until it's fucking not, and then you just are done with it. But I do hope you find a workaround because that's fresh hell for me, man. That is so hard to just address a day and just the worst. Raw dogging the baby. You know what I'm talking about? You guys don't know about.
No, I don't.
No.
Patreon.com/therapy.
You'll find out what Jim's talking about.
Don't forget to go to votejim.net. I need those votes now more than ever.
Just don't vote.
I'm going to get canceled.
Don't do it.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about therapists having a dog bias. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by our Thera partners: Smitty Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Byler T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar Swanros, Hannah Marie, and Emma Kane. Would you like to sponsor the show? Become a Thera producer at patreon.com/therapy. All right. Thanks to Emma, today we are taking the NCMHCE exam and psychology.
Damn it, not again. Fuck this test. I failed this motherfucker and then had to retake it.
Oh, no.
God damn it. It's a piece of shit. This whole thing's a piece of shit.
Wasn't something like this how I won Jim's doctorate the first time?
I don't know.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
Also, real quick, because we didn't say it on the main show, Emma Kane has officially anointed her horse, Tonka Truck the Pony, as the official pony of Pod Therapy.
We have a pony, everybody.
Go to our Instagram. There's an adorable photo of Tonka Truck at a competition in the official zone. And Tonka's entire little, what is it called? A corral? Stable?
Stable.
Has this gigantic Pod Therapy banner attached to it, complete with a QR code that takes people to our show. So thank you so much, Emma. If you want to meet Tonka Truck the Pony, the official spokes-pony of Pod Therapy, come down to our Instagram, PodTherapyGuys, and meet Tonka.
And if you want to meet the pony in person, you can meet myself, Nick, Whitney, and Jim's daughter
on a road
Illinois.
Trip in Illinois.
Yeah.
Pod Therapy Live.
Oh
my daughter will be signing autographs.
Okay. Jacob, you get 3 points for every correct answer.
Great.
Woo.
Just to make this fun.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it should be more.
Which concept emphasizes the importance of understanding the client's cultural background in shaping their experiences and worldview?
Common sense. Final answer.
You're going to want to wait just a second. Cultural bias, cultural humility, cultural relativism, cultural appropriation.
Fuck.
I need to hear the question again. I don't even remember the first part of it.
I want C.
Okay, cultural relativism.
That's where I'm going.
Okay, which concept
It's got a lot of
emphasizes
syllables.
the importance of understanding the client's cultural background in shaping their experiences and worldview?
Our choices are bias.
Humility, relativism, appropriation.
I'll take humility.
I feel like relativism is.
Yeah.
I actually
Come on over, Whitney.
Wow. You said bias, Jim?
Humility.
Humility? I really don't want to answer what Jacob said.
You get
Because
no
you don't
credit.
want to be right?
If you follow
I'm
Jacob,
going
you
to
just
say
get no
relativity
credit.
because I think that's it, though. I'll get 0 if I'm right.
It is relativism.
Yeah!
Good
Good job,
answer.
Jacob.
3 to 1 to 0.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, I love this game.
Jim's about to fail again. Okay. Which model
And
is...
I was sure of that one too, guys.
It was,
I knew
it was
that
a
You
one.
weren't
solid
just
guess.
shooting in the dark.
No, I definitely not.
You totally knew that.
Solid guess.
Which model is commonly used in crisis intervention to
Cindy
guide
Crawford.
the counselor's response? The ABC model, the DEF model, GHI model, JKL model.
God damn.
Oh, my God. What?
Do you see why this fucking
This
test?
is a guess.
It's the dumbest
This is a
goddamn
guess.
test in history. It is so fucking stupid.
I don't know why I'm asking this, but could you repeat the question?
Yes. Which model is commonly used in crisis intervention to guide the counselor's responses?
A,
I'll
B,
go
C,
A.
D, E, F.
Okay, you're gonna go
GHI, or what was it? JKL.
JKL.
I know A seems like the obvious answer.
Oh,
Come join me with
I
come
know,
join me with the right
fucking
answer, y'all.
Jacob.
you guys are taking
I also
ABC.
really like answering first.
I do too, because I'm like, damn it.
So you guys taking ABC?
Yeah,
I'm taking ABC
It
because that's the
probably
right answer.
is, but I'll say DEF.
It's ABC.
Jesus. It's happening again.
Poor Jim.
Fuck you, Jess. Fuck you, NBCC.
All right.
Piece of shit.
Last one for this round.
Oh,
it
there's
hurts.
another
It
one.
hurts.
Okay.
In the context of dual relationships, what is the primary concern when a counselor engages in a non-professional relationship with a client?
Pregnancy.
Sex.
Final answer.
Herpes.
We were all there.
Yeah.
Quick draw. The
I've
guns
never
were
been
out.
so proud of pod therapy. Okay. A,
Then Whitney just yelled out sex.
A, the potential for enhancing the therapeutic alliance.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
B, the risk of exploitation and loss of objectivity. C, the possibility of gaining deeper insights into the client's issues. D, the opportunity to provide more comprehensive support.
B.
C and D sound like it would be good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
C and
does
D
A.
make them sound good.
Yeah. So probably B.
I want B.
Okay, so you all want the risk of exploitation and loss of objectivity.
I think if the question
If
was
I'm
saying
listening to the
what is the
question right-
bad thing about
Yeah.
dual
Yeah.
relationships, then
Yeah,
B.
what's the problem here?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing that I don't like about tests.
Yeah.
Because you're like, The seams. Yeah. Wait,
two answers there made it sound like sex between the therapist and the client was good.
Enhancing was definitely sexual.
Okay, you were all correct. Yeah, the risk of exploitation and loss
Gems
of
on the
objectivity.
board.
9-2-1.
And Jacob is answering first.
Oh
Wow.
my God, he is defending the shit out of that
Killing it.
doctorate.
Out of that
I think it's
doctor.
just
line
mine now.
defense. He's built a fucking wall.
We're gonna submit this to the board later for Jacob to get his
Jacob can
license.
pretty much take a knee and run out the
that's
clock.
right.
Figure it out.
Oh man, God, I hate this fucking
I like
test.
answering those questions first.
Yeah, I know he's swinging on him. As soon as the ball's out, he's
That's mine. Got
over
it.
the fence. Shit. Oh, all right. Therapist has a dog bias. Hi, all. Thank you for taking my question. The long and short is that my therapist is extremely biased when it comes to dogs and has really rubbed me the wrong way over our last few sessions.
Like rub you from
Rub.
I
tail to
assume
head.
but yeah, not belly rubs. My partner has a dog with whom he absolutely adores. You could call him a big dog person. I, on the other hand, do not
half dog and half big.
He's
a
a
big
werewolf.
dog.
I, on the other hand, do not care for any animals, dogs, cats, and the like.
Okay.
I'm not a hater. I'm just indifferent. I've been working with my therapist on ways to tolerate and still enjoy time with my partner, even though that means also spending time with a dog. Initially, she assessed that it wasn't so much the dog, but my partner's lack of grooming and cleaning up after his dog. Imagine floors littered with dog hair and a dog that hasn't been washed since we were wearing winter coats. That was really bothering me.
dog.
That's right. This made sense. I talked to my partner and he agreed he would do a better job of grooming and keeping his place more tidy. That made things more comfortable when I visited, but it didn't turn me into a dog fan. Fast forward, over the last few sessions I've expressed that I felt unable to live with my partner in the future because I simply did not feel comfortable living in the same place as a dog. She seemed indignant that I could do it, I just needed to make space for myself. Or my partner and I could get another dog that I liked more, etc. The therapist seemed to be unable to...
More dogs!
Why don't just get another dog? The therapist seemed to be unable to understand that there could never be a dog I wanted to live with because I don't enjoy dogs.
Right.
She then went on to say she felt sad for my partner because I wouldn't provide the love and attention to his dog
my God.
that she's sure he wished a partner would.
That's weird. That's weird. Your therapist is weird.
This is great. That really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I understand she is a dog person, but her lack of objectivity and compassion has soured an otherwise great decades-long therapeutic relationship.
Over those decades, does your therapist do things like balance a treat on your nose and not let you eat it until she says, take it?
Pavlov.
You know, it didn't make sense at the time.
Now looking back, it's starting to add up. Our sessions now feel combative every time I bring up my indifference towards my partner's dog.
She always has water for me available, but it's in a bowl on the floor.
That's right. Besides never bringing up the dog topic again, I don't know how to move forward. As an aside, I've been seeing a secondary therapist for grief counseling due to a recent loss, and she seems so much more understanding that some people simply are not fans of pets.
Yeah.
I enjoy speaking with her, and I'm ready to dump my long-term therapist. I'd appreciate any advice. Pronouns are she and her. Thanks, friends. Anonymous.
Maybe get another dog.
Goodness gracious.
Maybe get additional dogs.
You know, the problem isn't that you're not a dog person. The problem is you haven't met the right dog
Yeah.
yet, okay?
It's like a baby will fix your relationship is what it feels like.
That is exactly it. Like this same thing I have seen play out with other values. Because, okay, so fundamentally, this is values imposition. That's what's happening. It's in a cheeky way, but this is a therapist imposing their values
Yeah.
and worldview and what they think is normal and right onto a person who doesn't share it. And like one that we see all the time that isn't this, dog thing's pretty new, but usually it's babies. Mm-hmm. And so like a lot of times you'll have somebody, like women especially, if you're a woman who doesn't want to have children, there are so many times that you will be forced into therapy, your family's concerned or whatever the fuck, or you want to, there's situations where if a woman wants to go get her tubes tied,
Oh, yeah.
that she's got to go get fucking therapy first, which is society imposing a goddamn value on her.
Or she's got to get her husband to come say that it's okay
Jesus
or whatever.
Christ.
Or they just won't do it. They just won't do it.
They just won't do it. Or they make you go see a therapist, and the therapist is like, well, let's talk. I love my babies. Let me talk to you about babies. You know, maybe you haven't held one yet. Like, and it's just like, that shit is fucking offensive.
Yeah.
Like, listen to me. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
All you do then is and I think this will work for, what's the writer's name?
Anonymous.
Miss
Anonymous.
So I think this will work for Anna Mus.
Yeah.
And I think you just tell the therapist, look, let's do, I used to not like babies. You can have this whole thing written out for yourself. Like, I used to not like babies. And then my sister had a baby, and I held my sister's baby. And it was the most beautiful feeling I've ever had, and I love babies ever since. So maybe you could just bring one of your dogs in, and I could hold your dog. And maybe and then she brings it in and just drop it.
Right on its head. And then immediately go, shit, just like my nephew. Yeah. Fucking Butterfingers.
I'm thinking out a window.
I would just like to remind everybody that Jacob's views expressed on the show
do not
reflect actual
perfect record of the quiz today.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Jim's
Honestly.
acting like he's answering questions over here. He's like,
I'm really trying to redeem myself.
You know?
I don't have 9 points on the trivia.
Oh my gosh. This reminds me of a friend I had that went to their therapist for quite a while, and then one day they went into session in person, and the therapist brought their dog in.
Oh boy.
I was like, they didn't even ask you?
Yeah.
They're like, no.
So I made that mistake. I did that once.
Oh no.
It was an accident.
It was Jim.
It was Jim.
They did
So
go
it
see
probably
Jim.
was me. Whoever that person was probably me. So I did that once because it was the
He's
day
not gonna
we
win Best
adopted a
Therapist.
puppy.
Oh.
And I didn't expect to adopt the puppy. I'd gone to the shelter. I found this puppy. I adopted it. It was impulsive. I thought I could get... Yeah. So I had nowhere to take this dog.
Aww.
And so I had like 2 sessions that day. And so I just brought the puppy. And
You brought a new puppy.
it absolutely worked out. I lucked out because both the patients were like,
This
can
is
I please
amazing.
hold the dog?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. Are you cool with this? Because I could also, like, the secretary said she'd keep it. And they're like, no, I want this fucking dog.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was great. So, like, it worked out for me, but I was, like, absolutely shitting bricks. Like, oh, God, is this going to be okay?
I think a rule to follow,
Yeah.
anytime you want to bring something into a session,
Yeah.
whether that be a puppy or fake drugs,
Yeah, okay.
just don't do
That's
it.
a weird pull. You know, that's just out
Where
of
did
the
that
blue.
come from,
See,
Nick?
just
I didn't
Jeez.
see that in the letter, you know?
Feel like a pattern's developing here
Okay.
with you bringing things.
Listen, dude.
What?
Hurtful. This is libelous, okay? I'm not fucking stand for it.
Libelous is only relevant if it's not true.
Oh. Well, then I guess it's not that.
Nah, it's just hurtful.
I guess it's just hurtful then.
It's just hurtful.
But I'm shaking a fucking finger at you, sir. I'll have you know. I will not stand for it. I'm going to
my
sit in this
gosh.
chair.
Yeah.
This is weird as fuck, though, right?
No, it is. Like,
That's
this
real
is
weird.
why
Look,
take
it would-
that stance after
That's it.
decades?
It would be
Like,
really weird if a therapist wasn't right.
Yeah. Because obviously we're on Team Dogs, right? Like,
Yeah,
all
I
four
mean,
of us
that's,
are.
yeah. That's,
Or
Wait,
ducks.
what?
Or ducks.
What are we on team?
Yeah, I'm on the writer's side.
Really?
I'm on Team
No,
Anonymous.
I think something's
Yeah.
wrong with the writer, guys. Dogs are
I
great.
was like, 3 people in this room have dogs. I have a
But have you
cat.
tried dogs?
yeah. You just have another eye, dogs.
You just need to try dogs. It'll be better.
No, I definitely agree with the writer. Although it is hard. Nah, it's not though. Because like
Be honest, Nick.
No, I'm definitely a dog person. I love dogs.
Show us pictures.
But I wasn't always that way. Like I didn't have pets as a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I grew up with no pets.
Okay.
And so actually I grew up when I was a little kid. I remember being very afraid of dogs.
No.
Yeah. And so I can understand if I really think about it. Like right now it's hard for me to imagine like, oh my God, somebody doesn't like dogs.
Right.
But it's like, well, yeah, it's not that hard though, because like
Right.
I've experienced that. I know what that's like. You know, I used to be that person. But then I found the right dog. So
Yeah, that solves it all. This is, in my opinion, like this is an example of values imposition. The therapist clearly has a lived experience that they think is important, and they're now imposing that heuristic of your partner needs from you that you love on his dogs, and you need to do that. That is appropriate. The minute the therapist goes into guiding you into what is functionally a moral value there,
Yeah.
telling you this is what one should do, Not because the research says it, not because we know this from clinical mental health. It's what you should do because I and others like me, like your boyfriend, this is how we would live.
Yeah.
And it's weird that you're not doing it. And like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like adjacent examples. Like what if your boyfriend had a child? Let's say he's a Greek dude and he recently had a surrogate give birth to his, child. Boy or girl? What do you think in this scenario?
We'll say girl in this scenario.
Yeah, just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this Greek dude, gorgeous guy. Let's fill out the example a little bit, because I don't like
John Stamos-ish?
Stamos-ish. But I think we agreed a little bit smoother. Smooth, young, he's doing very well. And this guy has a kid at home, and you're like, I don't think I'd ever want to live with you, but I love you. You're great, and I don't hate your child, but I don't like baby environments. I don't think you keep it clean. I think I get really itchy around crying babies and stuff. So I just don't think I would live with you. That's my choice. Okay. That's okay if that's a problem in the relationship. Boyfriend is due his truth as well.
Yeah.
And he's allowed to sit down with that and say, okay, well, where do I see us going? That's fine. But I don't think it's cool to pull that woman aside and tell her that she's a bad person or she's somehow harming the relationship or harming the boyfriend. That is her truth. There's nothing wrong with that. She's revealing it. We can talk about the impacts of that truth. We can present her with the consequences of that position, and she gets to be a big girl and deal with that, and it may cost her the relationship or it may cost the growth of the relationship. That's good therapy. If a therapist is bringing that up to you, fine. But I don't like what this therapist is doing.
How do you suggest this person address that? Or do they with their therapist? Do they just fade off and go to someone else? I mean, they've known this therapist for decades.
10 years is a big one to throw away, man.
I think you could bypass dealing with the therapist entirely just by leaving the back door open.
But
Just that's it, Whitney. No, I think just let the dog escape. That's it.
He's still on the team. We can sabotage this by just eliminating the dog.
Yeah, just get rid of the dog.
There's
fine.
just one way to solve this.
I was
Down
waiting
and dirty way.
to see who would bring that up.
I don't like
dog doesn't
losing a
have to be
10-year
here.
therapy relationship.
That's what's hard for me because I almost wonder if this therapist got too comfortable.
Yeah.
If you've been around a client that
Yeah.
long, you get a little too comfortable and
Yeah.
think I can kind of let this down.
I think
I'm
you nailed
imagining.
it.
I haven't
I think you nailed
Right.
it.
had a client for a decade, but
I've
I
seen
would
it happen,
imagine that would be
And
what's
I've done
happening
it.
here.
I've drifted into
Oh, I
a
have a
really
little bit,
long-term
too.
thing with somebody, and at some point something is said and I catch I'll find myself overstepping and they may be gracious with me and
Yeah.
but I can
But you can
sense
still
it.
feel it.
I
Yeah.
feel it. I feel
Yeah.
the heartburn
The shift.
afterward. And when you're doing kind of that after session reflection and you're going over your notes and you're playing it back,
I've been
and I
there a little
remember
bit,
having
too.
that moment where I'm like,
Damn it! I wish I
okay,
wouldn't have
Jim,
said-
we need to dial this down. We need to get back in the lane here. We need to be very friendly for a therapist-patient relationship.
Yeah.
Not friends, and I sometimes act more therapist-y than not.
Right.
We can't do that. We've got to get back into the right
I've touched
order of
into
things.
that lane too. It's
Yeah.
hard when you get
We're
very
humans.
comfortable,
It'll
right?
happen.
But so I do wonder if you've never really had any other issues with this therapist, and that's a strong issue. I don't want to invalidate. If I were in your shoes, I would be annoyed as fuck.
Yeah.
What you're telling me?
That's obnoxious.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. I could also see maybe a little transference happening in the sense that so
Yeah.
the
transfer the
therapist
dog, put it to somewhere else.
Exactly. Transference with F-U-R.
You're gonna ace this
That's what-
test, Jacob.
transference.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I think okay,
Shave
so
the dog.
The therapist obviously is a dog person, and I don't think it'd be a stretch to say that the therapist. I don't know if I saw it in here. The therapist has a dog.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
So when
I'm assuming the therapist has
Yeah.
a small farm with roughly 30 dogs.
okay, so then when your client or your in session says to you, "Oh, I could never imagine living with a dog in the house."
Yeah.
It kind of feels like, okay, well, I live with a dog in the house. It
Yeah,
kind of
right.
feels a little like
not that hard.
a
Yeah.
little shot fired across the bow.
Right.
Now, me as the therapist, I'm taking this a little personally.
Yes.
And so I kind of feel like, it's really not that bad living
Yeah.
with a dog in the house.
Right.
Maybe, and maybe I now have some feelings in here
Yes.
because I feel like this is kind of, you're stepping now on my turf. And I'm not saying, writer, that you did anything wrong.
Yeah.
No.
I
This
agree
is still the
This is
therapist's
the
job to
therapist.
Absolutely,
manage.
this is a 101.
Yes, the therapist
absolutely
still
the
needs to
therapist's
manage this.
100%. And really, I think for students and interns and colleagues that are listening to the show,
Yeah.
what a great teaching story,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Love
this
this.
will happen. This will
sure.
happen. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're really good at being a therapist, your patients they can't pick up a lot about your deeply held beliefs. And so they will step on them all the time
Right.
because they're not even aware they're there because you do a great job concealing them.
Yep.
Right. And so, like, politically, you'll have people get up here and be like, can you, like, that's one of the best compliments that I'll experience, even though it's not a compliment, but it's a moment of, like, I know I'm doing this well, is whenever somebody says something thinking I would agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
When that is 100% something I do not agree with, I vote against it, I'm morally against it. And we get along so well, and I hide those cards so well, and the therapeutic rapport is so strong
Yeah.
that they'll be like, you know what I'm talking about when these idiots do that, right? You're probably sick of that too. And I'll go, oh, yeah, man, a lot of people in this world could drive us crazy, man. But how does that make you feel? You know,
Yeah.
like, you steer it right back to them. Don't tell them that I'm for it or against it. But, like, this is something therapists have to be good at.
Yeah, I
because
mean-
you could get stuck in this shit and then do this.
The therapist could have been in a very similar situation where the therapist was in a romantic relationship with somebody. They thought it was going to go really well. Then that person says, like,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I just can't move in. I'm not a dog person. And I
now
just,
they have a
I
chip
just
on
can't
their
do this.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so now, and this has happened to me. Like,
yeah.
I've been in this situation where I've had a client explaining to me almost verbatim a conversation that I've had in my personal life
Right. Oh, yeah.
with somebody.
We've all been there.
And now I'm
Yeah.
like,
fuck.
oh boy, yeah. I'm
Pretty
not
hard.
feeling this.
Yeah.
Just not feeling
Like
it.
last night, I was fighting with my wife about me playing video games until midnight, and now I'm talking to you, and you're saying I'm so fucking sick of my husband playing video games till midnight. I want to be like, well, I mean, like, what video games is it? I mean, like, does he
Doesn't
wear
seem that
headphones?
bad. I
mean, how
Jesus
often
Christ,
are
is
they
it really
playing it?
bothering you?
Yeah.
He seems like a really nice guy. Just take out the trash. Maybe just fucking let him have something, okay? Jesus, you know. But you're absolutely right. You have to like come back
Yeah.
to center, be with them, you know, find their truth.
Yeah, and if you're a therapist and this has not happened to you, it just means it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah, 100% in one capacity or the other.
Yep.
So do we bless the writer saying, you know what, I'm going to just go further with my secondary, the one who's been doing grief work with me?
It
That's
sounds
where I
like
need
it's
to
time for a
park.
shift. We've talked about
Yeah.
that quite a few times in the last over a year that I've been on
Can
the
you
show
believe
with
you're
you
still
guys.
here?
I
I
know.
know.
I'm still showing up for some
Yeah, it's
reason.
impressive. You
Haven't
put up with a
figured out
lot.
why.
It's probably because all those blackmail we have. But
Yeah.
who could tell? Who
Who knows?
Could be that drifter you hit in that car. I don't know. Nobody
Still a little
needs to
hair
know,
on
really.
the front bumper.
Just keep coming back.
But yeah, I guess I think that I totally lost my train of thought. You distracted
Second
me.
therapist.
Thinking about running over somebody.
That it's
I'm
okay
like,
to transition for a while.
yeah.
Take a break.
Oh, sometimes we see someone for a long time and like we can kind of outgrow our therapist
Yes.
or just shift to somebody new. And maybe that's the signal. Maybe
Yeah.
the therapist is too comfortable with you. They feel like they're imposing their, beliefs on you.
This
and
is something we
transferring.
don't ever really talk about because I think therapy is usually presented as a light switch. It's on or it's off. You're doing it or you're not doing it. But there are, I think, therapeutic advantages to the concept of breaks from the work.
Yeah.
And sometimes breaks from the person. I've had situations, because I have kind of like an open door practice where it's sort of like make your own appointment whenever you want.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not here
Yeah.
to, keep you on a calendar or whatever. And one of the things that will sometimes lend itself to is I might not see somebody for a while, and then they'll come back, and I'll be like, hey, it's been X number of months or even a year or more. I want to get myself caught up. How have you been? What's been going on? And through the course of the update, they'll tell me I saw another therapist for a while. And they won't say something like, I didn't want to see you anymore, Jim. I was upset with you. Because in our dynamic, you not showing up for a while doesn't require an explanation.
No.
Because it wasn't expected that you would. Like, you come and go as you please. That's always been the dynamic. So if somebody breaks up with me, I don't need to know about it. Like, they don't need to explain that to me. I would never ask.
They just aren't booking on your schedule.
There's not
anymore.
there. And that
Yeah.
could be anything for me, right? And so like a year later, they might come back and be like, yeah, so, this was going on. And I ended up seeing a therapist for several months. That was going really good. And I'm like, okay. And like, but in the back of my mind, I always catch that and think, okay, there really might have been good therapeutic shift there. Maybe we had gotten stale. Maybe there was something that I was doing that wasn't working. And so I'll definitely use it as a learning opportunity, and I'll go back through my notes and think like, okay, I don't want to replicate anything that wasn't working for them. I want to be careful. Or I'll ask some good questions, but non-jealous questions like, so what kind of work were you guys doing? I want to make sure that, I want to make sure that I kind of think about, the progress you're making there as well as we're taking on these new challenges and kind of meet you where we're at today. Like, oh yeah, we're working on this kind of stuff. Like, great. And so like, I can.
Does your other therapist have a better mustache?
Yeah. Which I assume, even if it's a chick, it's like, of course, looks better. So I think that's totally fine. But we don't talk enough about that being okay. And actually, not quite a technique, but like, it's not bad. It could be part of the recipe for success.
Yes.
So that could be what's happening here. But I think the obvious answer is get a dog.
Yeah, maybe a few.
Jim.
Okay. All right. Counter proposal. Ryder gets a boa constrictor.
Okay.
What about a
Big
fish?
enough to eat a dog?
Yes. And now it's
Jim's
not
face.
I'm anti-dog. It's actually I'm protective of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Your dog in particular. Because my boa will fuck your dog up. And I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen.
None of us want that to
Neither
happen.
of us feels good abandoning a pet in the Florida Everglades. I don't want to fucking do that.
Yep.
So boa's got to live with me. Dog's got to live with you. Separate houses.
I have a quick question though, as dog people existing in this room. What can that exist in a relationship? Can a dog person or animal person date a non-animal person? How does that?
I think it's a bigger deal than people talk
I
about.
know. That's why I was
I
like,
feel like I'm kind of in that situation.
Is Laura a dog person?
She's not.
I knew it. I kind of knew she wasn't.
She had cats. She's more of a cat.
All right.
I mean, she doesn't.
She's pro animals. Though.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't
Okay.
not like dogs.
Okay,
like
that's not her.
They
pick
had
at the pet
they had
store.
dogs growing up.
Got it.
But she's more of a cat person.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean she does fine with them.
Yeah.
She's not like overly affectionate towards
Yeah.
the dogs or anything like that.
I feel like this is definitely an issue. Like
I
if-
do
if
think
you
it's a
already
bigger
have
issue than
pet.
people talk about.
Yeah,
like
and if
you
you're
said,
really
Jim.
like it's your child, like you think that way, and like great bond. How
It
we
is.
bond.
It is one of those. It is difficult to be the dog owner and see that like the affection is not quite as strong as you would like it to be.
Yeah.
With that your partner's not
Yeah.
affectionate to your dog.
Yeah.
You're like, that's my
Yeah.
baby.
Yes, I think that's
it
totally
is.
a thing.
It absolutely is.
That's
a thing.
totally a
yeah.
thing.
And I think now for me, it's just one of those things where like when I kind of recognize that and I feel that, I kind of have to like, okay, well, but that's not the expectation.
Yeah,
That's my expectation that I'm putting on another person. The problem isn't with this person.
right.
Yeah.
The problem is my expectation that everybody should.
They're not kicking.
Everyone
my
should
dog.
love my dogs like I do.
They're not
That's
hurting
you
my
can
dog.
see.
Yeah.
They are indifferent.
Yeah, that's not a problem with Laura. There are other problems with Laura, but it's not that.
That's
Not
not
that
one of
one.
them.
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't Must Love Dogs a rom-com or some kind of like big
I
lovey
forgot about
movie?
Sounds
that.
like it, probably.
I feel like that was a phrase, right?
Yeah, it was
In,
like a
the
phrase
dating
in the
ads.
dating app.
Yeah,
like,
Must Love Dogs.
I'm definitely the less dog lover in our house.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You're fucking
okay.
obsessed with your dog.
Oh no.
The girl dog?
No, I like our dogs.
Really?
I like our dogs perfectly fine. Like I always take care of them if SJ's not
Yes.
around. But like SJ was the one who wanted to get dogs.
Yeah.
Again, because we had a dog before. That dog died. We went with no dog for a while. Kind of at my not insistence, but
Preference.
encouragement. Yeah. And then she found these two dogs that we have now, and they were a little older already.
Okay.
They were 5 or 6 years old when we got them. So they were adult dogs. Their owner had died. They needed a home, and
They had mauled the owner to death.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so we took them.
Little dogs.
Little corgis.
Well, I mean, it took them a while, but they got the job
Yeah,
done.
I know. That's persistence.
It's teamwork.
Yeah, that's right. You don't need a whale one bite.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
They're dachshunds, not corgis.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Dachshunds are much better off eating a person.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Dachshunds can get
Dachshunds will
it done.
fuck you up.
They're pack hunters. One trips you.
But no, like I've even said, like after these two go, like we're gonna do no dogs for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have kind of laid that down. I don't know how much I'll stick to it. I don't know if I'll stick to that gun or not.
Yeah.
But that's
For a
what I'd
while.
like to do.
I don't want to get too far ahead of this because the dogs are happy and healthy and we don't need to plan for their funerals
Yeah.
yet. But down the road, if the unfortunate should ever happen, I really think we get Jacob a fucking bird that can talk.
Birds
I
live
don't-
forever.
Can you
I'm not
imagine
taking
the
a
shit
bird.
that bird would say?
Oh my. Okay,
It
that
would
would
be
be
a
entertaining.
commitment.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not taking a bird.
No. It
I'm
would
not
be
taking a
entertaining.
bird. I'm not taking a tortoise. I'm not taking any of these things that live 100 years.
Birds
Yeah.
live a long time.
A lot of them
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
like
Yeah, they
100
live-
years
Yeah,
or
they
something.
You
can
like one of those
live
African
away.
greys or something
They
like
can
that, or
live
macaws.
a
You have to
Oh,
like
really?
inherit them to some or
Yeah.
whatever when you
Really?
die. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can put in the
And
will.
put them in your will. Yeah.
Wow.
But no, I think it's a big deal. Like I just remembered this while we were talking about it. I had a friend once when her animals passed. She waited because she was like, I know I'm going to be dating. She was single. She's like, and I don't want to get another. I want a cat, but I don't want to get another animal
Yeah.
because the person I date might be allergic or like. There's just a lot that goes into
Absolutely.
it, and
Good
it's that
point.
big of a deal.
It
I
is
was
a
like,
big
wow, I
deal.
wouldn't have thought about that. being an
Macaws
issue.
typically live 30 to 50
Oh,
years.
That's a
okay. I
long
said
time.
100.
African greys go about 80.
Can I get
I'm looking it up too.
Give me
There
a
we
quote
go.
on boa constrictors.
Cockatoos are
Or
40 to
pythons.
60.
40 to 60
Yeah.
years.
Jeez.
That here's a different kind of macaw, 50 years.
That's a long ass time. Jesus.
Boa constrictor, 20 to 30 years in
Oh
the wild,
my gosh.
but can live up to 40 years
In
or
captivity?
more in captivity.
Wow.
Oh
and that's
Some
on a
parrots
dog a
can
day
live
diet.
up to 140 years.
Wow.
140?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were just going to say 100.
So like
No.
America
Oh,
is like
God.
2 parrots old. Like that's
That's right.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow. All right.
Man.
So Ryder, I think that the best answer is clearly get the snake. I think that ends the debate.
That makes me sad. I don't want to talk about a snake eating a
Aw.
dog.
No, it doesn't have to. You're making it weird.
Nick wants you to
that
get
doesn't
another
have
dog.
to be that. She doesn't
I
want
would
the snake
fight
to
a
hurt
snake.
the dog.
I absolutely would go to
You'd
war
be the
with a snake
person,
if
like,
that-
I saw that video of the guy in Florida jump in the pond to fight
Oh,
the alligator
yeah.
when it, like, tried to bite his dog. I was like, oh my gosh, how
Dude, let the dog-
instinctual
Oh, I would-
is that
yeah.
to just, like,
Let the dog
jump
go.
in and save your animal?
That's
Oh.
over.
I couldn't do it.
That dog's gone.
Nope. No, that
That's
gator's gone. I'm gonna fuck that gator up.
I've never seen this side of you, buddy.
I know.
I know.
Just-
Yeah,
Penny's
it's
like,
yeah,
no,
damn,
no,
your
no.
fists are all balled up. You're really sweaty right now. Like nobody's gonna hurt your dogs. I just want to be like really clear.
Put your shirt back on.
This is all. You know what? No. Don't listen to Whitney. That's fine.
No matter what Jim
Nobody has
says.
any notes. Nobody has any notes on that. That's going great. But anyway, Ryder, this is weird. I mean, I'm sorry that it's going on.
Yeah.
I like that you still have a good rapport with your boyfriend over this. I think that it's fine for you to have boundaries. It's fine for you to just say, look, I'm not out to get your dog, but I don't like the lifestyle that comes with this. I'm sorry, that's my truth. And that also has consequences. And I can be a big girl and say, okay, I'm willing to size that up. And the discomfort of living with you and a dog is greater than the discomfort this creates in our relationship to not be able to live together. And I choose to suffer in that way. And like, whatever, I get to do that. I get to make these choices. I think that's perfectly fine. I think a good therapist ought to present that to you and give you a chance to wrestle with that with a completely sober mind. That way you can make the best choice for yourself. I don't like a therapist starting to tell you, this is how you ought to feel. Your opinions and beliefs are wrong. That's too far for me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And, I think you're well within your rights to tell your therapist, listen, my friend, you have really, taken a strong position on this. That's made me uncomfortable. If I had told you I didn't want to have children and you were trying to, lecture me on why I should and being a mother is whatever is the right thing to do, it would be way out of line. And I feel like this is, getting a little out of line here. And I think that's the last, that's the Hail Mary. And if she cannot hear that and recalibrate,
Yeah,
I think you take a break.
go
I think
based
focus
on
the
that on the result of that conversation.
That's
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah. Bring the snake with you when you have it.
Yeah.
But
That'll
not
help.
around Nick because he'll fuck him up.
That's right.
Don't bring that snake around Nick's dogs. That's the wrong fucking house.
Not up in here.
Not up in here. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about terrible roommates.
That's why Nick bought that tamper.
You're listening to
right.
PodTherapy to
right.
fuck up snakes. Yeah. He's just smashing heads.
It's my snake and stick.
Tamping them.
Today's
He
episode
comes
is
in with new boots.
brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Violet T, Paris T, Monaco, Oscar Swanrose, Anna Marie, and Emma Kane. And if you would like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy. All right, let's go on. Moving on. Question. In the context of acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT,
We got a shot at this, Whitney.
what does the term cognitive diffusion refer to? A, the process of challenging and changing irrational beliefs. B, the technique of separating thoughts from their literal meaning, C, the strategy of avoiding negative thoughts, or D, the method of deep relaxation to reduce anxiety.
Got it.
Are you going one
Jacob's
again?
going first.
Oh, yeah, I'm going first, baby.
God damn, they're getting flexed on.
It's B.
All right, so he's going with the one. Was that the getting away from negative thoughts?
The technique of separating thoughts from their literal meaning.
That's a solid fucking answer.
I know. I was like, that was going to be mine, and I don't actually know the
That's
answer.
a big reason why I'm losing right now. It's because he'll say it, and I'm like, well, yeah, that sounds really
Yeah.
good. Now you have to fucking follow
I
him.
was
So you
going
may
to
as
say
well
B
bet
or
on
D, but I
something
think
else.
it's B. That was my
Can I get A again?
The process of
I like the
challenging,
Whitney's just defeated.
challenging and changing irrational beliefs.
Fuck. I'll take A, but it's B.
It's B.
I'll take A.
It's B!
God fucking damn it.
12 to 4 to 1.
Oh my God.
I love it. Jacob was a good test
right.
taker in high school, is what I'm hearing.
I really was.
Okay.
You can use context clues like a motherfucker.
I was like, diffusion, that's the only one that has two things being diffused from each other, so that's diffusion.
Apparently anybody can do this job.
Yeah.
All right. In dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, what is the primary focus of the emotion regulation model? A, identifying and labeling emotions. B, reducing vulnerability and emotion mind. C, increasing positive emotional events. Or D, all of the above.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I need
that's
that to be
Fuck
repeated.
you question.
And DBT.
God, this test is such an asshole.
I'm pretty sure I got it, but go ahead and give it to us.
What is
Yeah, I
the
need to go.
primary focus of the emotion regulation module? Identifying and labeling emotions, reducing vulnerability to emotion mind. I don't know if that's right.
Emotional mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
emotional mind.
Increasing positive emotional events, or D, all of the above.
You know me, if I have the opportunity, I'll go for that D.
Take all
That
the above.
D.
Give me that D.
I think A.
Yeah, I think A too.
It's D.
We're all right.
Oh my God.
Damn it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
At this point, I really wish that I could disclose that Nick and I somehow cheated on this.
Yeah.
Because it would be a great bit
it
for
would
Nick
It would be.
if we
It
were
would
cheating.
be.
Honestly, I was thinking that like 2 questions ago. I was thinking, why didn't I give you these in advance?
Didn't need to.
Don't
No.
need
I
it.
don't need
I'll
to.
need that help.
I don't
No need to cheat.
All right, last one.
It should
Well,
be
we
like
weren't
every
wrong.
time he defeats a therapist in like their licensing exam, he gets their powers. I mean,
Yeah.
just like it's like Highlander.
Yeah.
Just like fucking on
What
your
are those?
knees.
I was like
And, the
Dementors, like, sucking out your soul.
The thunder and lightning in the background, and he just holds up the sword. There can only be one.
I feel like I get a percentage of your practice at this point.
Vote. Everybody should be voting for Jacob on Best
Yeah.
of Vegas, is what I'm hearing.
Clearly.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
Here we go. Last one for this round. In the context of rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, what does the ABCDE model stand for?
Oh, finally, all right, we got this.
Okay. Is it affect, behavior, cognition, dysfunction, emotions? Affecting event, belief, consequences, disputation, effect. C, anxiety, belief, coping, distraction, emotions. D, anger, behavior, cognition, depression, emotions.
All right, I know it. So
Give me that question again.
I'll let Jacob go first.
Oh, you'll let me go first on this one?
Listen, bud, you've got me lapped. All right, but I know this one.
I've got you lapped by a few.
This one's a putt. I can put this one in, so I'll go last.
In REBT, which is rational emotive behavioral therapy, what does the ABCDE model stand for? Affect, behavior, cognition, dysfunction, emotions. Affecting event, belief, consequence, disputation, effect. Anxiety, belief, coping, distraction, emotions. Anger, behavior, cognition, depression, emotions.
Between A and B. I don't know. I don't know this one. I'll go B.
Damn it. I don't know this one
Yeah.
either, and I was going to guess B.
It is
I'm going to
B.
guess B, yeah.
Yeah, it's B.
Okay.
It's B.
Yeah, it's fine. God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
The one that I definitely had. In the life.
Just
Goddamn life.
one psychology coach.
This
Was that
motherfucker
18?
hasn't missed.
I'm
Yeah.
100%.
This is his Rain
Yeah.
Man
24,
moment
fucking
again.
24.
Steph Curry of this test. He's
What
just
is it?
throwing them up from half court, and they're going in.
Yeah.
They're all fucking going
Yeah.
in.
That
He's
was the only
kicking
one,
it.
that was the one I was least sure about.
I was
can't
like, don't
believe
say
you
B,
just
don't say B.
found
He goes,
it.
I'm going to go with B. I was like, shit.
Just found it. God damn this
That's
test.
funny.
Oh, that was wonderful.
It's the only one that like the order of the things really made sense.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
That's true.
Fuck you, Tess.
I feel like you'd be even. I don't know if you'd be less or more angry if I were just guessing at these and not actually figuring them out.
Oh, it's like, have y'all ever played Cards Against Humanity?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But then do you ever play with like a random, we call him like Dave or something, and we just put a random card
Oh,
in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the amount of
Oh.
times that, quote, Dave's card gets pulled
Yeah.
is like
Statistically
annoying.
anomaly. Yeah, you can't
Because
be that high.
somebody's looking at all the cards being like, this one's the funniest one. You're like, what? How did that perfect card get in there? And it was
random.
just random. You're like, damn, Dave beat me. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob is the
Yeah,
broken
he's
clock,
Dave.
and he's
Yeah.
just fucking nailing
A
them.
broken clock is right twice a day. I've been right how many times today,
Yeah,
Nick?
but you haven't
6.
fucking missed
There you go.
Oh,
In a row. In a row.
6
Just-
consecutive times.
triple coverage.
Putting
and
the
he's
cunt
coming
in
down with the
consecutive.
ball.
Jim's let you go first, though.
Yeah, Jim let me go first on that last
as
one.
a
though.
gentleman. God damn, dude, that is considering how many people get fucked up by this test, and these are the real questions.
This is scary.
and
How many
Jacob's
people
just
get it
walking
wrong?
in and just shooting them down. Like
It is. It's a test taking thing,
Yeah.
most of it.
It's
I was always
terrifying.
really like
Yeah.
I was good in especially in high school
Yeah.
because I didn't do anything. I didn't study. I didn't like do the
you
assignments.
had to get good at.
And so like I was
context.
good at just walking in and like give me that test, give me the quiz, give me whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna perceive from the writing.
Yeah.
It's got to be nice to know though that like if you wanted to, you could just pass and just be a therapist if
Yeah.
you ever had the desire to make a third of the money that
This
you
is-
make.
This is official, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Like after I get the next 3
Nick's a
questions right, I
proctor.
just get a tweed jacket.
Yeah, that's right. Nick's
Yeah.
a proctor for the exam.
Oh, you
so.
are 3 questions away from Tweed, my friend.
I feel the need,
Elbow
the
patches.
need for tweed.
Oh shit. Terrible roommate. Hi, Pod Therapy guys and gal. I write to you right now in a state of safety, don't worry, but extreme discomfort and anxiety. I was just at my work and my roommate texted and asked if she could get something out of the closet in my room. I said I'll be home soon, and when I arrived, she had gone into my room without my consent and shifted some things around.
Okay.
For context, I've lived here 1 year. I am a male, 25. I live in the upstairs, and the daughter, female 35 of the house owner, lives downstairs. She's been nothing short of a nightmare.
Wait, what?
So
I think the daughter's the owner's daughter.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
this
the
I see.
roommate.
I see.
Okay.
the landlord.
So you're
daughter
renting
lives
from a
downstairs.
person. That person's daughter also is your roommate.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And the writer's 25, the woman he lives with is 35. She's been nothing short of a nightmare the entire time. Example, saying I have to let her know anytime I have a guest over, and even if I do let her know, being totally rude to me and the guest about it. Smoking cigarettes right outside of my room every night, and I have to have the windows open because there's no central air. Walking around naked and thinking it's cute, but it's actually making me super uncomfortable. The list goes on. This is my first year in this
You always
new
have to be
city.
careful when you decide that something you're doing is cute.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to
a good
ask
point.
someone else.
Yeah.
Always, if you
Get a
think you're
jury.
doing something that's cute, fine. Weigh in on it.
Yeah.
Say, I think this is cute. Here's why I think it's cute. Go ahead and ask someone else's opinion as well.
Especially if nudity's involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, take
Like
a beat.
selfies during live birth.
Yeah, well, no, that's different.
That sounds perfectly
Absolutely
reasonable.
different. That's
Okay.
It's all
Just
part of the
wondering.
game.
Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, no, I can see how it's relevant. The list goes on. This is my first year in the new city from home, and I've loved it so much, but I've had to put up with so much from my roommate. I've stayed because the location is perfect for work and the rent is cheap.
Yeah.
I've been unbelievably accommodating as a roommate, cleaning up after myself and being extremely polite, despite her awfulness. Tonight was the straw that finally broke the camel's back because she truly breached my privacy. So I texted back, and I stood up for myself. She said she's the manager of the home, so she can do whatever she wants.
Nope.
When in reality,
Go fuck yourself.
her mother is the landlord, and my roommate is just a washed-up 35-year-old woman with no job, no friends, and never leaves the house.
And also, your landlord has rules they have to follow legally. Like, they have to give you notice if they're going to enter the domicile without you. There's all that kind of shit.
I told my landlord about these issues, and she was apologetic and said she'd talk to her daughter. But now I'm extremely worried that my roommate is going to make my life a living hell because I pushed back. I think the obvious advice is to move out, but it's hard when the rent and location is so good, and I don't know where else to go right now. Assuming, which I'm like 99% sure, that she will turn into a monster after this act of rebellion on my part, how do you guys recommend I deal with her if I can't move out soon? As usual, cut this one down if you have to. I know it's super long. Thank you so much. With love, Anonymous. P.S. Thank you guys so much for the show. I've been listening since 2020.
Oh, nice.
And I always stay up to date on Pod Therapy as it brings me so much peace and joy and so many laughs. Truly, y'all are hilarious. P.P.S. Jim, I will write about her terrible attributes in my memoir, also horse semen, just because.
That's awesome. Woo, that was
Bravo.
good. Very good. Very
Bravo.
well done.
You got?
Anonymous.
Can we congratulate Jim? He got attributes
what I
right.
was
Did I?
gonna
Okay,
say,
because
yeah.
I was really scared.
That didn't sound weird.
It was really
It
scary.
was
The
a little like
second-
an attribute.
Yeah.
There was a little bit too much emphasis on the second syllable.
Okay,
Yeah.
Not bad.
Let
not
him
bad.
have this
Yeah,
one.
no,
Thanks, buddy.
definitely a plus.
So I do want to explain why I got it. And the answer is I was playing video games with my daughter today, and the word attribute came on the screen. And so I had to read it. So I was like reading all the dialogue of the characters and stuff out loud. And I got to it and I fucked it up. And my daughter was like, Daddy, that's not what that word, that's not how you say that word. And I was like, oh, I know. I was just reading in a hurry. And then I said it right. So like,
Remember the other week when Jim's other kid fixed his garage door?
yeah. I'm mostly a figurehead. I just exist. I'm not really teaching anybody anything. I'm just here now.
Oh my god.
Dude, walking around naked. That's
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
fucking
yeah.
weird.
So here's the
I say
thing.
fight fire with fire.
No, get that dick out.
Yep.
Get that dick out,
Dead
boy.
say loves the D.
Just
Yep.
hanging out my apartment,
That's
hanging
right.
brains.
Same advice as the last one. Get a fucking anaconda. That's the trick, baby. You win this match.
Have y'all seen that show on Netflix, Worst Roommate Ever?
No.
That's what I think
That sounds
of.
like a good one.
It reminds me of this poor
Is it like a
writer's.
reality show?
No,
Is it-
it's their real stories.
like, oh, okay.
Oh, but like dramatized.
The dramatized,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the word.
Oh,
I was
that's
like, where
right.
they
Like Drunk
reenact
History?
it or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this poor writer reminds me of. I mean, not a specific one, but just like it could be on there where
Yeah.
you're just like stuck because
Yeah.
that's where you live and it's affordable and especially in today's cost of living crisis, it's
So tough.
so hard. To,
So here's the bright side to this.
there's
although-
she's naked.
I mean,
Yeah, she's
for
Depends
free.
on how
and
tan she
nudity.
is.
yeah.
Low rent and nudity. That's kind of cool.
However,
Sounds like low rent nudity, though.
however lost your roommate is, it does seem that your landlord certainly knows
Thank goodness.
Oh my god,
right
yeah.
from wrong, or
This
at
is
least
not the first time that landlord has had to apologize
Yes.
for their daughter.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
God, why do they let
yeah.
them?
And I
live
think
there?
here's the thing.
That's why it's cheap.
Yeah.
They know.
The thing
they
that
know.
the thing that the daughter doesn't understand is that you have rights as a renter. And I'm guessing that the mom does understand that.
Yeah.
I think that's the big difference between those two. Because
The mom
Yeah.
knows that you can serve fucking papers over
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
And like, if the daughter is deputizing herself to be the property manager or something like
That is
that,
the worst.
and like if there's a single document anywhere that you've ever received that says that on there,
They're
then the
fucked.
lawsuit is just
It writes
slicked
itself.
up,
Yeah.
like clean sailing.
Yep, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Can you put like a lock on your bedroom door? Is that a thing?
I'll bet you this lady would
Or
just
no.
rip it off. Be like, you can't fucking do
Can't
that.
have a
This is
lock.
my
Well, there's a
house.
contract. I mean,
I mean,
I
don't know.
would. I guess. I mean, I guess I don't know if you have.
I
a
mean, you
contract.
can certainly ask the landlord
Yeah.
for like a locking doorknob or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like
Right.
even volunteer to say like, look, I'll go
I'll pay
to
for it.
Home Depot. I'll buy the doorknob.
Yeah.
I'll put it in.
I'll
or,
give
or like,
you, landlord, a copy of the key.
absolutely,
Because that's
Yeah.
appropriate.
absolutely. That's it.
But
That's very
not your
appropriate.
daughter, please.
Yes, I think that's a reasonable thing to ask. My honest answer on this, and it's going to sound like I'm being me, But my real answer on this is go to the fucking mattresses. Like, fight this shit.
Get weird.
Like,
What do you mean legally?
every single time she does something that is adverse to the conditions of the lease, document it.
Yeah, I got
video it if
yeah,
you can,
yeah.
photograph it if you can,
Yeah.
and every single time email it so that it will be time stamped and recorded to the landlord, and just say, "Hey, this is still going on."
Yeah, I
Like
that.
every time, document the shit out of it.
And be super nice to the landlord. Like,
Absolutely.
hey, you know.
I mean, you could be
I
super
know-
nice to the
yeah.
roommate while you're
Sure.
doing all of it. You could be nice to everybody. And in fact, I recommend it. Like, be professional, courteous, all of these things.
Yeah. So I think we all agree standing up in this scenario, applaud, yes,
Yeah.
we like that. But now we're worried about the clap back. So Ryder's
Yeah.
saying, hey, I'm feeling really anxious that this roommate's going to make my life a living hell because she's about to get a stern talking to from mommy. And now I'm probably about to catch shit. And this lady's already like scaring away my guests and smoking from my room.
Is your life already a living hell? I mean,
Never underestimate a woman's ability to make it
I'm telling you,
worse.
watch that show, Nick, and you will see what a living hell looks like. I feel for this writer. I'm not trying to say move out. I think definitely what Jacob said, and documenting things,
Yes.
recording what you can within your legal bounds. Set up a little camera in your room when you're gone.
That's fair.
Like, just
that's fair.
something to kind of little nanny cam or something.
that's actually a really good idea, especially if the landlord will not allow you a lock.
Mhm.
Put in a camera.
I would,
Yeah.
if that's something. Yeah, I would do that. Gosh, but it is scary to look at how little rights you end up having sometimes when you're stuck in these situations.
Even if you're on the right side of the issue.
Even if you're on the right
a lot
side
of
of the
times they
issue.
can just throw you out over some bullshit, and you're not going to go lawyer up. You're already, financially restricted. You needed a break on the rent.
And it's the landlord's daughter. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
That is such a mess. And obviously they're going to break or bend rules because it's family. Like they're not going to
Yeah.
fuck around. They're going to protect themselves. It's
Here's
a
the
tough
other
situation.
here's the other thing that I think you can do is make sure that you are a good tenant in every other sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Mind your own P's and Q's.
Yes.
if your rent is always on time,
Yeah.
that means a lot.
Yeah.
Because the landlord is not going to come to go to bat for you
Yeah.
if you're 3 months behind on rent.
Right. No, of
know.
course not.
That's like, I mean, I've been renting for a long time now, and that has always been my thing is, on the day that rent is due, my landlord or the property management company has never gone past 7:30 in the morning
You're
before
on
they
it.
have their money
Yeah.
on the day. Like, it's never late,
When the landlord's daughter is naked in your house.
Yeah, what do you do then?
as she is.
Yeah. I mean, but, and smoking or not smoking, I'm not sure, because I don't want to assume they're
Every
all smokers.
landlord.
Right, yeah.
That's a
daughter's
hurtful
different.
stereotype. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to contribute to that. We're a high class show. We're better than that. But yeah, I mean, for you, how do you deal with that?
Nudity?
Yeah.
I kind of like Jacob's idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like,
Fight fire with dick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the hose?
No, I mean,
Episode title. Episode.
I stepped out to go to the restroom. Did anybody say anything about cameras?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, we
yeah.
did talk about
I
Did you say
did.
cameras in the bedroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I
Yes.
got a little nanny cam so they can't see
You don't have to
it.
get a nanny cam. Just get a Ring camera. Get like a stand-up Ring
I don't
camera.
want her to know I have it in there.
Why not? It's in your room.
No, I think
Well,
that's a
no,
strong
because
move.
I don't want her to be like, well, I don't know. I guess she wouldn't go in there then, but I don't want her to
Disconnect it or
disconnect it or mess with it.
Yeah.
I want to know how often you're in my room, like for
Right.
real.
I mean,
don't
you
want it
can
to be obvious.
you can get the ones that run on batteries, and the ones that run on batteries, it's a rechargeable battery.
Yeah.
And that'll last you like a couple of weeks.
They last a long time.
On a
I have
charge.
ones that are on batteries, and you can
In
set
your
them to
bedroom?
motion sensitive,
Yeah.
and otherwise they're not sucking any
That's
energy out. So they're very good, and they can also just do snaps. Like they don't necessarily have to be a running
Oh.
camera or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool too, because
That's cool.
it'll take a snap like every 2 seconds.
So you can
Okay.
literally just like
You could do a gajillion of that shit.
Then you know
Right.
what's
yeah,
happening.
and
yeah.
you see where they're at in the room.
Right.
Like it's pretty easy.
I mean, yeah, I would just I would absolutely, unless you have something in your lease prohibiting that.
Right.
Like I can't imagine.
You're not allowed to photograph my naked 35-year-old daughter in your room.
But it's like you're allowed to put shit in your room.
I think you can.
Yeah.
The nudity thing really bothers me.
That's
Because, like,
aggressive.
Just switch the roles. 25-year-old female tenant.
Oh.
35-year-old son of the landlord
The
walking
police
around.
would already be involved.
He'd
Yeah.
be shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's just no way.
There's no way.
Also,
that would
we
go.
would be
Hey, I just thought this was
strongly condemning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The four of
Wouldn't
us
be
would have
an
already
afterthought.
Yeah, we would
Yeah.
already have just screamed our heads off about
Yeah,
this.
jeez.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
We are sexist.
Yeah. That's just true.
Oh,
I do want to take a bit.
Explain it, Jim. Go ahead.
No. I think you actually were right. I do want to take a bit for the writer because I think we're giving a lot of different advice about how to defend yourself, practical solutions, thinking, on things that we're not experts on, which is roommate law and all that shit. But like in a reality where this manager roommate lady is now going to be a pain in your ass, in a world where you can't remedy this legally. You can't Buffalo Bill this thing and stand up for yourself and get any, leverage on this. In a world where you must choose how you suffer. And that choice is suffer here with low rent in a way that works for my life and try to get through it the best I can, or suffer alternatively with a higher rent somewhere where I'm not going to be harassed like this.
Yeah.
I want to therapeutically step in and try to coach on that. Because if you stay in this house, then I think we have to use different skills because trying to Buffalo Bill this chick and
I gotta
escalate
stop
might not
you
work.
for a second. What the fuck are you talking about?
Buffalo Bill.
It's where you take her skin off and make it
and
make an
then
outfit
you
for
dig
yourself.
a pit in the basement.
Yeah,
and
what
you're
the
like,
fuck? Yeah, what's unclear about what he's saying, Nick?
puts the lotion in the basket.
I thought Buffalo Bill was
On
a
the skin.
cowboy
Also,
in the Wild West.
also the bad guy in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
What? The guy that says put the lotion on his skin?
That's Buffalo
That's
Bill.
Buffalo
And puts the
Bill?
lotion on its skin, or else he gets the hose again.
Who's the cowboy?
We're back to the
Who's
hoses.
a cowboy? Like, you've never heard the phrase like Buffalo Bill? Like, it's a cowboy,
I
isn't
have.
it?
I have, but like this out of context.
Is there another
like,
cowboy that's not Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill is also like a frontiersman cowboy type person.
Okay, I just want to be clear. I mean that one. I mean standing
Maybe
up
you
for
should have been
yourself,
clear about that earlier.
gunslinging.
Because I'm assuming you mean taking off her skin and making an outfit out of
All
it.
right.
It's a different show.
So yeah, to be clear,
That's
I
why
meant-
he wanted her to put the lotion on her skin, or else
Okay.
she'd get the hose again, because he wanted the skin to be nice and supple. So when he took it off
Don't
of
use
her,
that word.
Okay,
supple,
supple skin.
nice, moist, and supple.
No.
Well, I'm glad you pulled me out so that I could go ahead and clarify
Yeah, okay,
that
good.
because that was important.
Yeah,
I
I was going to
definitely
let you
meant
finish,
the
but when you
Wild
said it
West.
the second time,
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
I got to stop you.
So, writer, it might not be in your best interest to stand up to this person if it's going to escalate them. And look, as therapists, this happens a lot where we've been in situations where a person is just irrational, highly emotional, highly volatile. They're in the wrong, but just telling them they're in the wrong is not going to make it better, right? And so we have to use these de-escalation skills so that we can have some kind of calm. I mean, when Nick and I ran a halfway house for people that had, chronic addiction issues and severe mental illness, more than once, we found ourselves in situations where they were a tenant inside of our program. We were providing housing. There were specific legal rights they had and specific policies they were violating. And yeah, we could get on the right side of the letter of the law and lecture them and talk about, how we had the high ground. But they're also just freaking the fuck out. And sometimes we couldn't throw them out, but they're going to make our lives a living hell.
Yeah.
And so we did have to learn to approach them with those skills of saying, okay, how do I make you a friend rather than an enemy? How do I find some amount of common ground? How do I try to nudge you where I can? And how do I accept where I probably can't and squeak out enough small victories that this is tolerable? So that, because that's kind of the way you almost have to look at it, writers. Like, you're there for a reason. You're there for, I think from your letter, I gathered like a limited amount of time. It's a place where you can go to your job. It doesn't sound like you're planning on retiring in this house. It's like a place to save up some money and move forward with your life. So, if you can sit down and kind of add up those goals for yourself, make it clear what your why is, and then I would recommend looking up some of the skills about de-escalation, which I think we have in the Patreon. If you get into patreon.com/therapy, the very first post inside of there is just the index to the library. And so it's every topic we've ever covered with links directly to that audio. And a lot of our stuff, when we publish on Patreon, It goes directly to whatever podcast app people are using. But if you go to the actual post on the website at patreon.com/therapy, if we're talking about therapy skills, we're often posting actual worksheets and skills that we use in therapy. And I'm pretty sure somewhere in the library is something about de-escalation skills in relationship conflict. And that's where I'd kind of want to bring your attention, because I feel like we can give you a lot of advice about how to stand up to this person, but at the end of the day, that may not be an option for you, and it may have to come down to, how do I keep the peace so that I can live here cheap and move forward with my life?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Would we give that same advice if the roles were reversed and
That's
it
a
was a 35-year-old man
We'd be like, yeah,
walking around naked?
25-year-old girl, we
Yeah.
get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not even talking about how to keep this guy happy so he doesn't fucking smoke near your room.
Yeah.
God, that's so fucking weird. Isn't it
I
weird?
know.
If it's a dude, you feel how quickly our stomachs
Yeah.
turn over. Like,
I know.
fucking get out of that house, girl. He's
Yeah.
crazy. He's smoking in front of your room. He's like threatening you. Like, this isn't okay.
Yeah, this is not
He's going in
fine.
your room
This
and
is-
shit. Like, oh my God.
And that's why I kind of feel like, I mean,
you're right.
Can you?
Jim's a sexist.
Yeah, God, I am.
I'm not a legal expert. Like, I mean, if you were to call the police, I don't know if there's anything.
No.
They're walking around naked in your
That's
own
tough.
home.
I
It's
guess
not against the
exposure.
law.
I mean, but you're in a common space.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like the police would come in and tell you, like, settle the fuck down.
You
Figure this shit out.
Yeah. Well,
Probably- well-
unless it was a 35-year-old man.
Right. No,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
this
Then
thing,
his teeth would be
Yeah.
on the pavement.
yeah.
Like they
It was
drag
like-
him out by his hair.
Yeah.
You think it's cool, buddy?
Yeah.
You think it's fucking your big man, huh? Jesus. It's
Yeah.
amazing how the system is different.
I don't hate that idea though. I mean,
Dong
the problem is,
which I do not hate specifically.
Yeah, you do need to zoom in on that.
I don't hate the idea of like calling the cops. Basically, if they really are walking around naked, it's like that in some ways is like exposure, right? Like if somebody does that to you outside of an enclosed space, even they do it inside. Like if you're at a club, you're in a private space, but you can't just like take your top off or whatever, like, or your pants if you're whoever.
I mean, yeah, it depends. It depends on a lot of things. I mean, for that, you should actually, for a lot of this, you should probably call an attorney.
That's great advice, actually.
You should probably
I like that.
No, we can do this. We can workshop this. Let's keep going.
The
I think free
the
podcast
Batman lawyer.
advice is about this person's budget.
Yeah, I think,
Yes. I don't think they're calling the
That's
law.
a great point, Jacob. Yeah, I like that best because then it's like, if I call the cops, is that even a thing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
should I be? What's the law?
I mean, even if you contact an attorney and set up, say, like a meeting where you're going to pay for like 4 hours of legal service.
Some attorneys will just give you 15-20 minutes.
You might be able to get enough for free.
Yeah,
But like, even if you have to pay for a few hours,
it's worth it.
just to kind of get peace of mind and figure out kind of where you are legally, probably worth it. If it ends up costing you a couple of $100, I understand that can put a squeeze on you financially for a month or so. But if you're able to swing it, if you're able to figure out a way to do that, obviously without decreasing your Patreon sponsorship of this show.
Yeah, don't
correct.
fuck around with Patreon. buddy.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, if anything, you should increase it based on this.
so. We'll put it in the Patreon legal defense fund,
Yeah.
which is still just Jacob giving advice. That's 100%.
But yeah, I
our
would
legal
definitely
support.
say go find yourself a lawyer and at least sit down and have a conversation with that lawyer and figure out kind of what your best strategies are legally.
Yeah.
And if they specialize in real estate law or anything like that, and tenant law.
Tenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because I mean, there are a lot of laws that protect tenants.
yeah.
And I don't know anything about like common space. I don't know much about anything,
I know.
but I really don't know anything about like common spaces and shared apartments with, and presumably they're on different leases. And so, I mean, does that make it two different homes? Like, are the two different bedrooms, two different homes because they're two different? I don't fucking know. I don't know any of this, but I sure have questions about it.
Yeah.
That I bet a tenant, an attorney specializing in tenant law could answer.
Yeah.
I think you open up a Twitch stream. I think you just walk around with your phone, always streaming to Twitch when you're in your house.
Well, then you're just going to get banned from Twitch.
Oh, is nudity not allowed?
Yeah, you can't do nudity on Twitch.
All right, so I have a different idea now.
Okay.
I was like, Jim needs to take down his account.
Yeah,
his
so
Twitch
like
live
starting
stream.
now, do you work for them? Anyway, Ryder, good luck with this. Good luck. I hope
Watch
you can
that
find
show
a
if you
boa
wanna be
constrictor.
scared.
That's the right move. As we wrap up the show, I want to remind you can sign up at patreon.com/therapy and get the extended show ad-free a day earlier as well as enjoy our live chat Discord community and our weekly deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. And this Monday, Nick has another interview coming out as he does his Better Know a Theraproducer series.
Get to know a Theraproducer.
Who's coming into the studio with you this time?
Pickett.
Pickett! Fucking yes! That's a get.
You guys want to hear the order?
No, don't give them all away up front. Make them work for it.
I got a
Tease
lot
it.
of
Yeah,
them.
let's
so
tease.
many of them.
That's pretty cool.
So many of them.
Embarrassment of
I've
riches.
I've got right now in the bank, I've got after Pickett 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
It feels really good.
Supple.
I've been up 6 before, and I remember being like, my entire quarter is handled. Like,
I'm good almost through the end of the year. I got 2 more to go. Then I'm
Love
good.
it. Oh, good for you, bud. You deserve that. That's awesome.
you.
And thank you for all the people putting up with Nick so that this is possible. We do appreciate
It's been a
that.
blast.
Is it?
I'll tell you what, I've had so much fun doing this.
Aw.
And it's really cool to get to like meet all of these people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And just have conversations with them.
That's super cool.
I think I've done 8, 9 of these.
Wow.
And only one of them was an asshole.
Okay.
Only one.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
I'll let them figure out who it is.
Yeah.
Smart.
They know. They know who they are.
They got to guess.
Yeah. You know who you were. So we also want to thank our Patreons who support the show at patreon.com/therapy. We've got some new pals. Who's joining the party here, Nick?
We got Tori Carter. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Tori.
And Galen Diggs.
I like it.
Woo.
Nice to have you with us. And we'd like to thank the benevolent, revered, generous, and flagrantly pro-therapy diehards who love you all so much they give till it hurts. The Therapartners, Dirty B, and Pickett.
Pickett.
And we especially want to thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of our fan club, the Theraproducers. Thank you, Jake Schneider, Myra, Robert Brownie, Jr. Mint, Smitty Scoop, Ben, Don, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Malia, Leon Kassab, Mason Miller, Richard fucking Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley Slapping Your Face, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T, Mike Helm, Paris, Samantha Cohn, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, Heyo, Oscar Swanrose, A Sunny Boy, Slurpy Kai, motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Dan Martin, Hannah Marie, Andrew Langmead, Emma Kane, and Elena.
And if you would like to hear this episode uncut and unedited,
And why wouldn't you?
and enjoy our spontaneous side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. I want to thank our landlords, Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social Podcast. Thanks to those of you who contributed to our show today. We really appreciate it. Remember, pod therapy isn't something to keep all to yourself. Share the episode with the world. Tag us on the socials when you do. It's at PodTherapyGuys on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. It's /PodTherapy on Facebook. And don't forget about all the extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy.
Do you want to submit a question to the show? Ask anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Stim.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.
I'm
Where's
supple.
where's all the names at the bottom? It's the
Yeah,
first
it's
of
the
the
first week.
Oh, fuck, it is.
Too late. Bye.
Watch them get punished.
month. Bye.